In this video we are going to take a look at the chapter approved Munitorum Field Manual 2021 MKII, which went up for pre-order last Saturday and will be officially released on the 5th of June. First, we will start with a quick look at what this chapter approved release actually is, then we will go through the Space Marine changes, including the Deathwatch datasheets. We will then look at the impact of these changes on the Deathwatch army. Lastly, there will be a quick wrap up of what has been covered. Welcome to SwissHammer, your channel for modeling in Warhammer 40k. My name is Tammer, and I will be guiding you through this video. The 2021 edition of Chapter Approved consists out of the Grand Tournament Mission Pack and the Munitorum Field Manual MKII. While the Mission Pack will primarily focus on secondary objectives, the Munitorum Field Manual contains the latest points values for all the units. These changes are considered to be mandatory and will replace the values of previously released codexes and supplements. On Warhammer Community, there is already a preview up for the upcoming changes to secondary objectives. The link is in the description. In this video, we will focus on the Munitorum Field Manual MKII and the points changes only. While the book has not officially been released yet, the points values have already found their way onto the internet at this point. Should anything further change that is relevant to the Deathwatch, I will leave a comment below. First of all, a quick rehash of what has already been officially previewed on Warhammer Community. All the Land Raider variants, as well as the primary Storm Speeders, will see a points drop. Land Raiders are going down by 20 points, while the Storm Speeders will go down by 15 points each. This reduction is certainly needed, as neither of these are seeing a lot of play in competitive settings. What's a bit unfortunate though, is that they left the Land Speeders as they were, so it's really only the Primaris version that is seeing the points drop. Maybe they just haven't sold enough kits yet. With the previewed units out of the way, let's have a look at the Space Marines and Deathwatch changes. Bad news first. There have been no changes to the Deathwatch datasheets at all. From what I've heard, some people might have hoped for further points drops on the specialisms or even the named characters, but all datasheets remain as they are for Deathwatch. On the other hand, there have been several changes to the Space Marine datasheets, to which the Deathwatch also gets access. The relevant ones are as following. Starting with the elites, somewhat unsurprisingly, the Chief Apothecary upgrade has seen a hefty nerf, from 15 points, which was pretty much auto-include, up to 35, just 5 points below the actual Chapter Master upgrade. While still a good upgrade to a great character, we are now actually paying for what it does. Another one that was rumored to be too good to be true are the Vanguard Veterans. Both their chump packs as well as the storm shields went up by 1 point each, so the chump packs are now at 3 points and the storm shields are at 5 points. The latter is what the Deathwatch veterans are paying for them anyway. Hilariously enough, the Lightning Claws, which are the most overperforming part of the popular loadout, remained at their 3 points. Overall, still a great unit, but expect to now pay 2 more points per model when going for their most popular loadout. For fast attack, another suspected candidate for a nerf is the attack bike, which indeed went up by 5 base points. This does not really affect Deathwatch, as we are excluded from taking attack bike squads anyway. Moving on to Inceptors, these guys had seen a 5 points base cost increase in the Space Marine January FAQ, which brought them to 45 points for the Bolter version, while the Plasma version cost 10 points more due to 5 points per plasma gun. One could have argued that back then, the Bolter version basically got punished for the overperformance of the plasma loadout. Now it looks like at least someone at GW felt the same and reverted the change to the base costs. Instead, the plasma guns got increased from 5 to 10 each. This means that the bolter Inceptor is now at 40 points again, while the plasma Inceptor went up to 60 points. That's pricey for a model with a chance to blow itself up on overcharge. For the heavy support we have a few interesting changes. Next to the already mentioned Land Raiders, all the Gladiator and Repulsor variants went down 20 points each. While tanks have not been overly popular in 9th edition so far, it's going to be interesting to see whether this is going to be enough. I think especially the Gladiator tanks now look far more interesting than before. On the other hand, there have been no changes to the Predator tanks, which I think is a bit unfortunate. It's not like these have been overperforming or anything like that. Then last and certainly not least, my personal highlight from this chapter approved release are the Eliminators, which went down 5 points and then another 5 points discount on the last fusil. That's right, 25 points for an Eliminator with a sniper rifle, roughly 17% discount, and 30 points for an Eliminator with a last fusil, a full 25% discount. Certainly the Emperor has smiled on these guys. Then one last discount for the Flyers. The Storm Raven went down 20 points. So while some units did indeed get changed, let's have a look at some of the popular candidates that remained the same. First of all, the Vanguard Veterans remain at their very affordable 35 points, one of the few overperforming Indomitor units that just keeps evading the nerf bat. I suppose those shields really help. Unfortunately, the Outriders are still at their 50 points as per the January Space Marine FAQ. They are still usable, especially in Deathwatch, but as with the new price on the Plasma Inceptors, it's just really pushing that upper end of still being a reasonable price tag. Also, much to my disappointment, no changes to Centurion Devastators. Personally, I really think that these guys could do with a points decrease. They are already missing the core keyword and have not much going for them anymore. Therefore, making them a little cheaper certainly wouldn't hurt. On a quick side note, as of now, I did not see the points changes done to Forge World units. If there is anything relevant, for instance the Volkite Relic Contemptor, I will leave a comment below. With the relevant points changes covered, what does this mean for the Deathwatch? The points changes to Vanguard Veterans, Inceptors and Eliminators affect our kill teams. As I keep saying in regard to our 9th edition supplement, the new kill teams will always be to a large part as good or bad as the different datasheets within. The Vanguard Veteran changes are not that drastic in a kill team. The max increase would be 10 points. There have been some competitive lists bringing like 3 Proteus kill teams set up like that though. That's 30 points you'll have to remove elsewhere. That will of course be felt. Things are looking far more bleak for the Indomitor Kill Team as far as I'm concerned though. With heavy intercessors just having been released as a separate kit, many of us had high hopes in seeing more competitive play with that particular kill team. While this kill team has always been a bit on the pricey end, running 5 heavy intercessors with 5 plasma inceptors is now up to 440 points before adding any specialisms. That's a lot of points. Just as with the Outriders, this is another example of how price increases hurt kill teams more, because we may want to take 4 to 5 models over a minimum size of 3 when running them in a regular squad. Anyway, with this price increase, I think it is reasonable to go for a more mixed variant at this point, like 5 heavy intercessors, 2 flamestorm aggressors and 3 plasma inceptors, something I have covered in more detail on this channel before. Link to the Primaris kill team loadouts is in the description. Outside of kill teams, the good news is that the bolter inceptors are down in points, and we can get more out of them by adding the artificial bolt cache relic on the sergeant, enabling access to special issue ammunition. Now on to the good news, the Eliminators. As regular viewers of this channel well know, I have always been in favor of the Spectre's kill team and mixing in Eliminators. Using a combat squad of 4 Eliminators together with an Infiltrator just got so much better. The sniper variant is now down to a very affordable 254 points, while the Las Fusil variant is at 275 points, which is basically what the sniper variant used to cost before the points drops. This is great news, and I expect to see more Spectres kill teams with Eliminators showing up. As with any other Space Marine chapter, having to free up 20 extra points for a Chief Apothecary will be felt, but I think that they are still worth having in combination with the Indomitor Kill Team and our popular Invul and Feel No Pay combo on top. Speaking of other Space Marine chapters, the attack bike points increase also means that Deathwatch is now a bit less at a disadvantage for not being able to take them. All in all, I think as far as Deathwatch goes, the Indomitor Kill Team has taken another dent, while the Spectres Kill Team is now looking even more attractive on so many levels. Even though this is of course an early prediction, I think that Deathwatch remains where they were overall. To wrap things up, over the course of the video, we have looked at the upcoming points changes featured in the chapter-approved Munitorum Field Manual 2021 MKII. While there have been no changes to the Deathwatch datasheets themselves, several of the popular Space Marine units also found in our kill teams have been affected. Vanguard Veterans now have to pay an extra point for their jump back and their storm shield, while the Lightning Claw remains as it was. This means that in a Proteus kill team with 5 Vanguard Veterans and the mentioned popular loadout, we are now paying an extra 10 points. While Bolter Inceptors went down 5 points again, back to their original Space Marine Codex value, the Plasma weapons now cost 10 points each, bringing the Plasma Inceptor up to a hefty 60 points. For an Indomitor Kill Team, this can mean up to extra 25 points when running 5 of them. The big winners in my opinion are the Eliminators and the Spectres Kill Team. Both Eliminators and their Las Fusil went down by 5 points each, meaning the popular Spectres Kill Team combo of 6 Infiltrators and 4 Eliminators can now be run as cheap as 254 points with Sniper Rifles or 275 points with Las Fusil, which was basically the old Kill Team cost with Sniper Rifles. As with any other Space Marine chapter, the Chief Apothecary upgrade going up by 20 points will of course also be felt in a Deathwatch army. Overall, I think Deathwatch remains where they are, with hopefully more Spectres kill teams and Eliminators showing up in the near future. So that's it for the upcoming points changes and the Deathwatch. How do these points changes affect your own lists, and what kind of adjustments will you do in the near future? Let me know in the comments. Finally, I would also like to mention that there is a SwissHammer Facebook page where I will be posting links to my videos as well as articles I find of interest. I do read a lot about the hobby, but not all of it will always end up as its own video. I look forward to seeing you there as well. I do also have a Patreon page. If you like my content, any additional support is greatly appreciated as it helps me invest into future videos. As always, thank you very much for watching guys, your continued support is greatly appreciated. I hope you have been enjoying this video, give me a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks again and see you next time.